Alright, Shalom, we are the Hebrew Israelites. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. Alright, this video, I just want to, probably going to be okay, decent video. Just talking about the 5G technology, all the coronavirus bullshit that's going on in the world. I'm going to play a couple videos, bring out a couple scriptures, and let's get it. Alright, this is the first video I posted on my page recently. I'm gonna play it, show you guys here.
Here, so the 5G they kill and shepherd. So me decide to come fast. But when me reach us so police do not cross. I be things are going a kill and shepherd right here so. But so the 5G some of the people I'm talk about there. I don't know where it do, but see it right here so a kill and shepherd. See it there? But I say TTC, that carry them and if somebody dead. As it's a whole heap of things, the SIU there. Somebody if a police chase or what, but a big police. Police dead there, so. Police over there. Police over there. Police over there. And police over there. So police is everywhere. But this is the 3G when I'm talking about this. 5G, I mean 5G. What is this? It's gonna turn us into a robot? You see the policeman say we're gonna turn in a robot with his 5G. He's laughing at me. That's supposed to be a joke, people. Hey, we're laughing together. We're laughing together. Okay, there you go. So big things are going on. So I'm gonna know. But I just say, but them say do not cross the line. I want to tear off your so. So I'm gonna know I see the SIU van there. I don't know. Yeah, the 5G. Say there, so for choose, you just saw kill and shepherd, the 5G. And then from the 5G, it said Jesus. I'm sure the something. From the 5G, somebody stick Jesus on it. You can see it right to the corner here, the CIBC bank. Anyways, I'm out.
Yeah, there you have it. That's what the elites of this society, is doing. They're bringing up these 5G towers, and that's what's causing a lot of cancer and make people sick, killing off all the insects, the bugs, the animals. This is pure madness. But I have a scripture to go with that one. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Let Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's one of his devices that he's using to destroy the masses. That's like it says in the Georgia Guidestone, maintain humanity under 500 million. This is one of his devices. RFID is the main device, but this is one of his devices he's using to kill off the population. I have another video I want to play. Where is it?
The telco insider whose mobile phone...
Sorry? Yeah, it was
The telco insider whose mobile phone tower protest went out of control is back. Now, he drove a tank down city streets, destroying transmitters to highlight what he saw as dangerous tower emissions. Now, of course, he was sent to jail for that, but the former technician hasn't changed his mind about the health effects of mobile phone towers, and he's preparing another protest. But as Laura Sparks reports, this one won't involve a tank.
The message was that how dangerous it was. I wasn't thinking clearly. I made some rash decisions, which I really regret.
But it was out of sheer frustration, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
His desperation drove him to extreme measures. John Patterson did the unthinkable. He went on a destructive spree in a tank, and now he's paid dearly for his actions.
I was proved guilty, and I was jailed for my offences.
How dangerous is this office?
It's catastrophic. You wouldn't work here.
We first met John, a former senior telecommunications technical officer with Telstra, more than 2 years ago. Back then, he was waiting to be sentenced, facing a jail term for his tank attack.
I was involved with rolling the technology out. I was very responsible for any safety things that actually happened. So I felt obligated to actually do something about it.
John borrowed his mate's armoured personnel carrier, one of only 2 in the country, and rammed 8 equipment shelters housing transmitters for mobile phone towers.
It disrupts the bioelectric system of your body, which is really your brain, your nervous system, how your muscles talk.
For 20 years, John tested Telstra digital systems. Over the time, he realised the dangers of electromagnetic radiation. When he moved to this Telstra depot in between 2 mobile phone towers, he got violently sick.
It microwaved it.
Yeah, and this is why Esau, so-called white man, is the devil. You know, he does a lot of stuff to kill people and continuously do it. That's why he's called the wicked. You know, that's why he'll always be the devil, and he'll always be the wicked on the earth. Let me get a next scripture and I'll continue on. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, you know, our time will be soon to rule this earth again, because right now the wicked are ruling. Everyone's mourning, you know, and that's what the scripture says. You know, when the wicked are in rulership, everyone's mourning, and when the righteous are in rulership, everyone rejoices. Roughly paraphrasing.
So I got all the test gear out and measured it and drew up a report and showed that it was an occupational hazard to work in that building with that amount of radiation. And I was immediately removed from service.
The people on the inside of the telecom industry are trying to tell you how dangerous these death towers are. We see experiment after experiment, study after study, proving the harmful effects of this radiation. Check out this experiment. Wi-Fi off, the plants just grow normally. And after 72 hours, we see a robust acceleration. Here with the Wi-Fi on, there's nothing. There's no life. It's part of the eugenics program, ladies and gentlemen. And we're getting readings from inside the 5G core network. And it's worse than living in a microwave. Here, this microwave was on at 15 milliwatts per meter squared. And in Lake Tahoe, they just set up the 5G core network. This guy brings in his tri-field meter, and just watch it go off the scales. I mean, it's worse than the microwave oven, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they're going to be subjecting everybody to, so that you can download a movie in 1 second.
And that's how wicked this man is. You know, that's why it says, let me get the scripture out. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If not, where and who is he? So there's no one else on this earth that's ruling with the so-called white man, and he's continuously pushing out wickedness, you know, and it's not gonna stop until the Lord's right hand side overcomes that left hand side, because it's Yahweh Shem Yahushai that's making this man punish us right now, but his time is almost over, you know, and our time will be.
It's not worth it, ladies and gentlemen, and the studies are clear. And here's another big insider, a former president for Microsoft, telling you about the NTP reports.
The National Institute of Health's National Toxicology Program released the findings of a 14-year, $25 million study that showed clear evidence of harm in terms of cancer and permanent DNA damage.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, and this was from the former president of Microsoft, Frank Clegg. Everybody's trying to tell you how dangerous these death towers are, and we're starting to see and hear more and more reports of these death towers being taken down. Check out Elvira here, this Angelina Jolie clone, if you will, you know, basically describe to you the mayhem that's breaking out across America. These towers are going down.
Okay, this is actually the scripture that I was talking about. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So people are just gonna, it's just gonna get worse, you know. Martial law is gonna come in, the chip's gonna come in, everything's just gonna get worse. More deaths will happen, you know, until this so-called white man, Esau, known as the devil, is taken down.
Ladies and gentlemen, and you know, the cabling just goes up all by itself. It just needs a little spark, and those things are just going up in flames, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, it's probably better that these death towers get taken down than to let them spring up like poison mushrooms, blasting your ass with these you know, photon rays that might as well be the Starship Enterprise, and you got these phaser beams just, you know, hitting you everywhere you go. And they're able to track you in ways you can't even imagine these days. You think like all of this information, all these apps, all these websites, you know, are just, you know, doing advertising. Oh, you're so wrong. They're harvesting all of that data and they're selling it to big government, all of them, every single website. I mean, they're basically, you know, looking for people that are trying to stay off the grid. That's basically how they entertain themselves these days. And you can bet that
and that's what's gonna happen when they make this chip mandatory. They're gonna want they want to control your every move. Once you do take that RFID microchip, which the hopeful elective nation of Israel won't. The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai will protect them through it, because it says, "What my prophets my father shall eat." But yeah, that's what this devil wants to do: control your every move. You know, you can check out online Aaron Rusev, I believe. I have on my page. The whole idea of these guys, they want to get everybody have a RFID implanted them, and all the money in that chip, basically. Yeah, and let me continue this here. One sec.
if you're classified as a conservative or a Republican,
And if you if you rebel against them and you have the RFID chip, they can just turn your chip off and you have nothing, basically.
or a Christian out there, you're going to get the special treatment. You're going to get these beams focused on your ass. And, you know, it's right there in the patents. You know, you check out the MIMO technology. Massive input, massive output, phase or beam forming and the like. I mean, they're just going to blast you like you can't even imagine. They're putting these things up everywhere. They're going to be like, you know, every other house. It's going to be at every shopping center, every gas station, every shopping mall. I mean, everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. And so people are taking these things down, and it's incredible to see, you know, across the nation. I mean, we're seeing these acts of heroism, you know, civil disobedience, if you will. And, you know, it turns out that a lot of these things are pretty flimsy, and the wiring, the insulation on the wiring just acts like an accelerant. You basically just got to get it going, according to experts out there that are taking these things down. Now, why are they taking these death towers down? It's because they're way above the safety limits. There's all sorts of reports, conclusive reports, one after the other, that are saying that these things cause cancer, they suppress your immune system, they affect your nervous system, and, you know, your body isn't supposed to be subjected to this artificial radiation as it's being pumped out there by this beast system. And, you know, it just looks like, you know, all this stuff just looks like some kind of, you know, trap by some sort of off-world intelligence trying to, you know, wipe us off the planet passively, if you will. No need for an invasion. You just, you know, sell the humans a little technology and they'll deploy it everywhere. Easy as can be.
Yep, that's how wicked this man is. Let me get a next precept on that. Alright, this is Psalms 10:2. The wicked in his pride does prosecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. You know, so let these people be destroyed. You know, I pray Yahweh Shem Yahushai destroys these the so-called white man known as the devil Esau. You know, and so everyone can rejoice. You know, because right now there's bare wickedness on the earth. You know, and he's just killing off people. You know, we're almost at the Basically, I feel like we're in the time of Jacob's trouble right now, or coming close to it, and he's gonna have to do a lot of killing. That's why the Abba Shem Yahushua has to come back, because no flesh will be saved
out there. But we're getting videos pretty much every day of these death towers getting taken down, and of course it goes underreported in the news because they just don't want to. They don't want people to know how bad the situation is on both ends of the spectrum. They don't want to know how bad you're getting dosed. They don't want you to know how bad you're getting dosed, and they don't want you to know how many of these death towers are getting taken down. And should they be taken down? I mean, people on the inside are saying yes. You got 250,000 telecom workers that are being injured every year on the job because of these death towers, beamed, radiation burns, falling off these structures. I mean, they've had enough. The insurance companies won't even underwrite the damage caused by these death towers, not just working on them, but living near them as well. They don't want to cover it. And, all of the standards are literally from 1966, ladies and gentlemen, and they were set up by people part of, the military-industrial complex. And, as much as you want to support the defense establishment out there, I mean, this, is unnecessary, to say the least. It's unnecessary, and it's like dropping bombs on civilians, but, right here in America.
It's a slow death. This devil is killing people in a slow death, slow, painful death. It causes cancer, leukemia, like I said. It's a slow, painful death. Well, let me get the next one. This is Ephesians 6 and 11. Put the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wills of the devil. So this truth, these scriptures, meditate on them, pray, that this is our sword. The scriptures, that's our sword, and that fights against the devil, Esau. No matter what, fight against this man, because he's the wicked on the earth. Yeah, let me continue.
And these death towers are going to have huge consequences, just like the fluoride, just like the vaccines, just like the GMOs, the pesticides, you name it. All of
Hello, my name is Frank Clegg, and I spent over 40 years in the technology sector.
Yes, and according to many technology experts, they're telling you, this stuff should be banned, this stuff shouldn't be deployed. There's a massive uprising of doctors, physicians, academics, pushing back against the rollout of this 5G, which is completely untested and unnecessary. It just doesn't make any sense that this technology would be deployed so close to home.
Yep, why people are staying home on quarantine, they're setting up these towers, Yeah.
When they have a range of 20, 30, 50 miles and the like. It truly is astonishing to see what you're getting dosed with. We recommend getting a meter out there, whether it be a tri-field meter or a gigahertz solution or the EMF 390. Get yourself a meter, shop around, see what works best for you. We feel that the EMF 390 has many more features and is actually less expensive and as accurate as the leading competitors. So that's why we promote that one. It's a win-win across the board. Check it out on our website, stfnreport.com. Any case, if you're just joining us, telecom workers are destroying cell towers and leaving a dire warning for the public. They know how bad these things are, but the information is getting suppressed, and we're seeing more acts of civil disobedience taking these towers down. They say that these things just go up like pretty much all by themselves. The insulation acts as an accelerant, and some of these are just tethered, as you can see on the left. So, the experts are warning everyone about these death towers, and it seems, rather astonishing that, they're able to roll these out without anybody really just, doing anything about it. Imagine, some kind of intruder walking into your home, digitally raping you with some kind of beam weapon, they probably wouldn't last very long. Especially if you're a conservative or a Republican out there. Maybe if you're, a Sodom and Gomorrahite, you're so used to grabbing your ankles, waiting for the astroglide that, it just seems perfectly natural to, get raped by strangers in the dark. But for most people out there, it just doesn't seem like an acceptable proposition. And if we're supposed to be in the land of the free, why can't we opt out of these death towers? Why can't we opt out of this eugenics program? Why is all this stuff just like transitioned, silently in the night? And then they come on television and tell you, once you wake up to what's going on, like, oh, don't worry, it's perfectly safe, perfectly normal. It's kind of like the Patriot Act that they passed in the middle of the night. And you find out that, oh shit, you're now the terrorist. And that's basically, how we're seeing the narrative, shape itself on television. Of course, they're saying, you're the terrorist because of Trump, and you're the terrorist because you're a racist, or you're the terrorist because, you're not one of them. But they're definitely, hitting you up, ladies and gentlemen. You're now a terrorist in their eyes. And, their technology is punishment in disguise.
Yeah, because Esau, let me get this last scripture before I finish the video. Yeah, because Esau is the so-called devil. The white man's the so-called devil. Esau is really the red man, but he's the so-called devil. And I'll get a scripture out here. John 8:44. Ye are of your fathers the devil, and the lust of your fathers ye will do. He was the murderer from the beginning, and abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. So there's no truth in him. And he always killed, his whole life he always killed. He was created to be the wicked on the earth, and he's a devil, so he will always lie to you. He might say, oh, this is good, blah blah blah, but he will always lie. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So we continue the video now.
You should definitely check out our archives. We've done quite a few different videos on these death towers. Feel free to mirror them, compile them, rebroadcast them, get this information out there. People should really be pushing back against these death towers, ladies and gentlemen, while you have a chance. Once they, fully complete their grid and roll out the Terminators, the Skynet, and the like, I mean, you're totally fucked, to say the least. And so, pardon the language there, but I mean, there's just really no other way to put it. And they want to place these things, at your schools, near your bedroom, and the like. And the readings are equivalent to a microwave oven. So, if that seems like a wonderful idea to you, then just sit back, relax, do nothing, watch the sports, watch the television, and just go along with the plan, because that truly is the plan. It's right there on the Georgia Guidestones. They're going to entertain you with all their bullshit until they can just basically, complete the grid, roll out their death tower.
Yeah, that's why they use the media. So they use it as a distraction. So you'll never know what's really going on.
And basically, doom you, ladies and gentlemen. No escape. It's certain death with these death towers all around you, and it's just a matter of time. And since it weakens the immune system, it looks like natural causes 3 out of 4 times. Really nothing out of the ordinary on the autopsy reports. Kind of like being taken out like Epstein or Seth Rich or something like that. It's it's a suicide, it's an accident. Nobody get suspicious. And of course, if anybody asks questions, all they got to do is say that the Russians did it, and they're off the hook, ladies and gentlemen. Off the hook indeed. This beast system is out to get you. It's punishment in disguise.
Hear that? The beast system.
It's the pages of the Bible playing out before your very eyes. Literally, this is the beginning of the end for humanity as we know it. They're going to be rolling out their Matrix, their Skynet, Terminators, automation. They're going to completely replace the workforce. It's going to be the total devolution of society. You think it's bad now with all the junkies and the zombies and the morons out there. It's only going to get, infinitely worse. And right now the situation is pretty bad. I mean, normal people are locked out. You basically got to be, some kind of clone or some kind of witch to make it out there. And if you haven't sold out, then you're basically, in exile. You're basically, at the bottom of the ladder for the most part. And it's just a very unfair system. You see who's in charge of, the government, the corporations, the media, and the like. It's all a bunch of sellouts, worshiping the devil. It's a big club, and you're not in it, ladies and gentlemen, and you wouldn't want to be in it. And of course, that's what makes it so difficult to infiltrate. To get into these clans, you basically have to get through people like Epstein and the like. They want you to rape children. They want to record you and have the blackmail of it and the like. And we've seen this evidence just pile up since the WikiLeaks. They threw that guy in prison, Julian Assange, and basically have given all of the cronies immunity agreements, or they've taken out the inconvenient witnesses and the like. It's it's a fully corrupt system, and it's only going to get worse. And unless we clean house, unless we basically flush out this septic tank, this swamp out there in DC and pretty much every branch of government, this tyranny will continue. Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be more death towers, there'll be more fluoride, there'll be more vaccines, there'll be more pesticides. Everything will become artificial, like the food, and those just start plugging people in, into the matrix. You'll have to have your brain chip to compete, for the jobs of tomorrow. And if you step out of line, then here come the RoboCops and the slaughter bots and the like. It's going to be a nightmare. And if people could, see the future, if they could, travel in time, they'd know that this was, the last opportunity for a last stand against the system. These people on television, they're not your friend. And, while they're keeping you busy with, impeachment and, whatever else they can dream up, they're rolling out these death towers. They're, progressing with the Skynet. They're getting closer to deploying the RoboCops, and they're testing the brain chips. I mean, every day that goes by is a day wasted. And, these death towers are going to be the core for their communications. And, if you stop the death towers, you stop the Skynet and the like. And, you don't have to be like these telecom workers and engineers that are taking down these death towers. You can go to your city council. You can protest. You can petition. You can tell them that, you don't want them deployed. There's a new California Supreme Court ruling that says that cities have now the right to, stop these death towers due to health concerns. Everybody should really be making this the issue of 2020. And, for some people, it's already too late. For some people, they already got these things right next door. And, they're getting raped. And you want to know how bad it is? Get a meter. And just compare it to the scientific, reports that are out there. Don't take our word for it. Do your own research. But get a meter. You need an instrument. It's like a thermometer. If you don't know what you're being exposed to, you don't know. But once you do know, then you end up being like these telecom workers that just want to take these things out. And, they say they just light up like a Christmas tree, and you could probably just, they're talking about super soakers and Roman candles, but you never know how these people operate. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.
All right, so I'm gonna close up with Revelation here. All right, Revelation 13. I'm gonna start at 13 and 13. No, actually, no, Revelation 13 and 14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. Verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So a lot of us Israelites will be killed. You take the chip, the RFID chip, which goes into charagma, which means stake or incision, or you face the guillotine. You can get tortured. You can get a firing squad. You get killed. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So it doesn't matter who you are. You could be the richest to the poorest bum on the street. Their whole agenda, the elite's whole agenda, this New World Order whole agenda, is to get everybody chipped with a RFID microchip implanted in somewhere in their body. Continue on, and that no man might buy or sell save that he have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So if you don't have this RFID chip, you can't go back into the society. You can't eat. You can't buy anything. You can't sell anything. You're basically done. You're basically, even if you take the chip, you're basically a robot, and Yahweh Shem Yashai will kill you. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. So there you have it. That's what they're trying to do. That's why they need the 5G towers. They needed to run the RFID chip off of it. Let me get the next one. Revelation. This is the punishment if you do take the RFID chip. Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So there you have it. You take that RFID chip, your missile food. You get a nuke. You get killed. Better yet, you get killed. Yeah. Hope this video was edifying. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Until the next one. Shalom Akim.